Strawberry Road. The very name suggests a journey to the end of the rainbow. And for some schoolmates who bred the son of Whiskey Road from a mare they purchased for $3,000, it certainly was. Strawberry Road. Not a pretty horse, but an impressive dark bay with a flowing black mane and legs of steel. Trainer Doug Bougoure and Strawberry Road first came to notice in August '82 when the 3-year-old burst onto the scene in a maiden win at Eagle Farm.
Strawberry Road forward on, drifted out to the centre, but he's the leader from Chief Mate. Strawberry Road going strongly to the line, and Strawberry Road won the money.
Strawberry Road's 3-year-old campaign in Sydney started badly in the Hobartville Stakes.
Third on the fence, Tristram Lad. Kiamare on the outside, fourth.
But this all changed in the Rosehill Guineas, with Mick Dittman aboard.
Full bore now, 2.5 lengths away. Third is Tristram Lad. Mr. Jazz followed then by Kiamare, and below so a good way back, but coming to the 200, the Queenslander giving a great sight, Strawberry Road. He kicked, and Strawberry Road's about 2 lengths clear on Mr. McGetty, making no headway. A good gap below so, followed by Mr. Jazz, and then Tristram Lad, but it's a banana land Rosehill Guineas. Strawberry Road, he's much too good.
His next start, the AJC Derby.
I knew Whiskey Road would handle the going, but when we walked the track that afternoon with Neville and my daughter Liz, and she had high heel shoes on, and she went down right to the blooming sole and left the shoe in the mud. I said, God, I said to Neville, this is going to be nice and heavy. And I said, went and had a talk to Mick Dittman about it. Well, he said, Doug, he said, he's super fit. He said, they won't beat him, just like that. Well, I said, as long as you're happy, Mick, that suits me.
Around the corner now, and it's Strawberry Road by about 3/4 of a length on Kiamare. A length of below, so pop the question, and about 3 or 4 then to Mr. McGinty. On top of the rise in the Queenslander, Strawberry Road. He's a length and a half below, so, and 2.5 to Kiamare. But Strawberry Road, he's going great guns. Below, so making no impression on him, and the Queensland combination of L. Dittman and Strawberry Road are absolutely donkey-licking their rivals. Veloso second, a minute away third, Kiamare.
The second horse is Veloso, owned by John Singleton and Larry Pickering. As Singleton said later, but for Strawberry Road, he would have won the Derby by 16 lengths. A fact he was to remember when he subsequently bought a share in the champion. He returned to Queensland to pick up the Queensland Derby and the Horse of the Year award. He then campaigned in Melbourne in the spring of '83 for what proved to be the climax of his Australian career. His first start there was the Freeway Stakes.
Strawberry Road joined by Toy Pindari on the corner. A length away, Red Tempo's coming hard, and then in the slot, Brummel Who. It's Toy Pindari and Strawberry Road into the straight. A length to Red Tempo. Strawberry Road a neck in front of Toy Pindari. He's drawn a half clear now. Red Tempo on the outside coming out after him, but Strawberry Road in front. Red Tempo trying hard, but Strawberry Road, he's a champ. Wins at a length and a half, Red Tempo, a great run.
After suffering defeat at the hands of Red Tempo in the Memsie Stakes, he had his revenge in the Centennial.
Round the 800 corner, Belsier Boy, a neck to Cossack Prince, 2 lengths to Strawberry Road. Red Tempo, Thompson's going to try and put Dittman in a pocket here. Can he do it? Then 2 lengths away, Bin Binger and Wholesome. Coming by the 600, Dittman's awake. He pulls out 3 deep. Cossack Prince beat Belsier Boy off, and now Strawberry Road 3 deep. And on the outside, Red Tempo 4 deep, challenge the leaders. Strawberry Road and Red Tempo have gone to the front at the 500 from Cossack Prince, 3 lengths to Wholesome. It's Red Tempo the outer, Strawberry Road the inner, kicking away. They've got a 3 lengths break on Cossack Prince and Wholesome. Each horse going as well as the other. Strawberry Road and Red Tempo turn together, nothing in it, 3 lengths Cossack Prince. Thompson now about to go for the whip on Red Tempo. Strawberry Road ahead in front. Red Tempo trying to get to him, but Strawberry Road's doing a little bit better. And it's a $500,000 up for Strawberry Road. He comes away from Red Tempo. Wins a length and a half. Cossack Prince third, fourth.
There they are, the happy owners, the self-styled Macedonian mountain men. After a 4th in the Caulfield Stakes, he lined up for the one that meant so much, the Cox Plate.
Racing, Emancipation away well on the inside. Kiwi Slave and Tresaro both slow. Away quickly also, Sir Dapper and Albany Bay and Strawberry Road come to London.
He was very good at Moonee Valley. I knew Cox Plate always run with a lot of speed, which suits this horse. You know, the faster the run race, the better he likes it, because you can settle him, you know. If he's chasing, he's a much better horse. So he drew a good alley in the Cox Plate, and, you know, I was quite pleased with his chances leading up to the race. I thought, well, you know, the speed's going to be on, and if he can have the luck, he won't be far away.
600 out, they pack up, and Fine Offer bolted round the outside to go to the lead. He's had no luck, but he's charged to the lead. From Handsome Seattle, Perfect Bliss, Come to London's gone. Strawberry Road trying to get out of a pocket. Here's Sadappa, hook 4 or 5 wide with Mr. McGinty. 2 to Tresaro, LA Bijou, Albany Bay. Emancipation's last on the corner. Fine Offer and Handsome Seattle. Mr. McGinty and Sir Dapper and Strawberry Road. They're all out and after the leaders on the corner now. It's Strawberry Road dashing to the lead from Fine Offer. Then Mr. McGinty beaten from Sir Dapper, but Strawberry Road, my goodness, he's a different horse today. He's going to walk in. Kiwi Slave coming from last, going to run second. Strawberry Road's won it by 4 lengths. Second, Kiwi Slave. Third, Mr. McGinty. Fourth, Handsome.
And that's where we leave his Australian campaign, with the best yet to come. Remember John Singleton, who watched Straub's defeat Veloso? Well, he didn't forget, and he introduced the world to the equine version of Paul Hogan, a true ambassador for Australia. His new trainer was John Nichols.
He approached the owners and, on the back of a betting ticket, wrote a promise to pay them quite a large amount of money for a half share in the horse, with the original intention, I think, of just standing him at stud at Prince's Farm, which he owned at the time. And that led to me getting him, because he's in partnerships with Ray Steer in quite a few business ventures and now quite a few race horses. And he invited Ray to buy a few shares in the horse as a stallion. I act as a consultant to Ray, as well as training. I advise him quite a bit on what he should do with his horses, etc. And he rang me with a great idea to buy a couple of shares in Strawberry Road as a stallion. And a man with no brood mares, I thought it was a rather strange idea. So I suggested that he stay out of the enterprise and not worry about it. Well, he rang me a week later and said, I bought quite a few shares in him. He paid for half of John Singleton's half shares. So now he had a quarter of a horse that he had no mares for. And he said, what would you do with him? And I said, well, he's the best racehorse in the country. I couldn't see why you wouldn't race him. And so Ray said, well, what would you do with him? I said, well, I'd take him to Europe. Being an expert who knew nothing about European racing other than spending 3 days there. And so he said, well, put a plan together and we'll take it to John and see what he thinks about it. And we got on the plane and offloaded in France and went to the stable of one of the leading trainers there, a guy called Patrick Biancone, who's since come out here for the International Tancred in '88. And we settled in there. The horse was magic. I've never seen a horse adapt so quickly to what was a very different lifestyle of what he was used to, and a very different lifestyle of what I was used to. And I put my foot right in my mouth when I said take him to Europe. But we were very lucky. We were in good hands over there, and the horse was unbelievable. That horse had the greatest constitution, I think, of any horse you could never get to the bottom of Strawberry Road. There was no bottom at the end of the pit.
At his first start overseas in Germany, he was beaten ahead in a Group 3 race over 1,600 metres.
And then 8 days later, we ran in the Grosser Prix von Baden, which is a Group 1 mile-and-a-half race there. And it attracts horses from England, Italy, France, horses that are leading up to the Arc. It's a race that does lead into the Arc. And he was magnificent, absolutely magnificent. Horse.
He was ridden by Brent Thompson, who replaced the injured Lester Piggott.
Lester was very keen to ride the horse, but he'd fallen off 2 weeks earlier and couldn't get a medical clearance in time to ride him. So fortunately we were able to get Brent, and he rode him a superb race. My opinion of the horse, and I mean an unbiased opinion, which I suppose it can't be, but the horse had one of the greatest constitutions I think you'd find in an athlete. You look through his record here, he'd raced in tough company, in the best company all the time, and performed well. He'd won the best races and won them easily. He came to a time at the end of a long campaign and only had 4 weeks break when I put him on the plane to go overseas. It's a thing that has only been done once or twice, and it takes a super horse to go through 7 months of different water, different feed, different routine, and world-class competition and still come out on top. And if you go anywhere in the world today, in racing centres like Chantilly or Newmarket or Santa Anita or Hollywood Park, and mention the name Strawberry Road or that you're from Australia, the first thing they'll say to you is, oh, Strawberry Road. So he left his mark wherever he went.
Strawberry Road ended his career overseas as the highest stakes-earning male ever to race in Europe to that time, with in excess of $2.2 million. His best performances included a second to the champion mare Pebbles in the Breeders' Cup Turf, and an unlucky third in the Washington International. During his overseas campaign, he was sold again and finished his career racing in the colours of international aviation billionaire Alan Paulson. Strawberry Road now stands at stud in Kentucky.